Well, good afternoon. I am truly humbled and honored to be in your presence today. As I look around at everybody and hear the speakers we've already had, it is truly a humbling experience. I know we are truly in the company of greatness. In our gathering here today, we have courageous men and women who represent the tip of freedom's spear. You are civil servants, you're trailblazing who champion what is truly best about our great nation. Whether you lace up a boot or slide on a Sketcher, you are all heroes of varying stripes. We who currently serve in the armed forces stand on the broad shoulders of all the veterans today. Those who wear the title of veteran should do so with pride, with all that that word implies. Through diligent labor, unwavering resolve, and sheer grit, you have extended the American way of life to another generation and passed the baton of the nation's defense to our generation. And soon, it will be our time to do the same. So allow me to offer you a hearty thank you for your service. Give yourselves a hand. We owe you a debt of lasting gratitude. God bless you. Now, the topic I've been asked to speak on today is a grim one. It's the topic of suicide. This problem is enormous, as all the statistical analysis bears out. And here are just a few data points for your consideration. So my remarks will add, obviously, to what our Medal of Honor winner Jim McCloughan had said earlier. First of all, suicide is now the 10th leading cause of death in the U.S. On average, there are 130 suicides every single day. Think about that. By the end of today, 130 more people will not be with us. And according to the United Service Organization, suicide rates among active duty military members are currently at an all-time high and are increasing at an alarmingly steady pace. In 2021, research found that 30,177 active duty personnel and veterans who served in the military after 9/11 have died by suicide, compared to the 7,057 service members killed in combat operation in those same 20 years. Now think about that. This means that suicide rates are 4 times higher than deaths that occurred during military operations in Iraq and Afghanistan during the same time frame. For perspective, this jaw-dropping statistic of 30,177 men and women lost to suicide is roughly the entire population of Burton City, Michigan, or Marion, Indiana. Friends, this is staggering. This is absolutely heartbreaking. As veterans, you sweat, bled, cried, and gave your very best in defense of our nation. And when you, our nation's warriors, return from the battlefield safe and sound, the American people yearn for you to live out your lives that your hard-won military service has wrought and to reap the rewards of a peaceful retirement. This, a few hunting discounts, half-off coffee at Big B's, free meal at Olive Garden on Veterans Day should be just the least payment for service rendered. And most of us know why you did it. Why you raised your right hand to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It's because war is a necessary evil to establish freedom, because as you know, freedom is never given, it is won. The currency of war is blood, and we have spilled plenty of it to ensure freedom's march forward. You who are here today, and a mighty host not present, form a brotherhood and a sisterhood that rose to the challenge. You once stood in the ranks of our fellow brothers in arms in defiance of tyranny. Well, today, we confront a tyranny of a different kind, the tyranny of depression, which is the progenitor of suicide. Depression is often the result of traumatic events we have faced. In that respect, civilians too suffer from traumatic circumstances that plague them for years. All of us, to one extent or another, have experienced trauma and have seen bad days. Some of you veterans, while on deployment, knew what it's like to have a very bad day. The stress, hardship, loss, anguish, and grief in the sheer madness of war have left permanent scars on your psyche. No one can see the private video footage replayed in your mind. The film on that reel contains a sequence of unspeakable horror most civilians cannot and hopefully never will understand. Only you can recall the sights, sounds, smells, and feelings associated with a day of days. This is why so many of you lock those memories away in a sacred vault. And yet, some of those memories escape and become intrusive reminders of the past. They barge into random unguarded moments, and this is yet another cost you pay for the gift you bequeathed to us, the American people. Add to this the gnawing feeling that your best years are spent and that all chance of valor has gone beyond recall or desire. This is a dilemma that many veterans face today. Now, I know once you take the uniform off, it can be unsettling. You can feel like you've been stripped of your identity or purpose. You might even tell yourself that you no longer have purpose because you're on no mission. Well, today, I would like to suggest to you right here and right now, you are still on mission. You are on a mission of intuition. Now you're saying, what in the world does that mean? Well, here's what I mean by that. Intuition is that instinctive feeling that helps you spot a brother or sister in crisis. If we are on a mission of intuition, that means we are mindful and watchful of the secret pain others carry. Now, make no mistake, there are veterans here today, maybe even seated in these chairs, who are still in harm's way. And this is where you come in. This is where you get your weight under them and hoist them up and get them out of harm's way. Just for a moment, look at the men and women around you. Go ahead. Look to your right. Look to your left. You see those faces? Behind every face is a story. They all represent lives filled with a complex set of diverse history, experiences, fears, and dreams. They are part of you, and you are part of them, oh, you band of brothers. Whether in training or deployed to steamy jungles, storming beaches, trudging barren deserts, navigating tumultuous seas, or demolishing enemy radar systems, when facing a determined adversary, you watched each other's back. You would have gladly laid down your life for these men. This was your sacred duty to fight like hell so you could bring back home as many as possible. And as a result, you mustered your courage. You steeled your mind. You defied the odds. You confronted fate and knocked fate on its... I did not say that. You thought I was going to say it, didn't you? I didn't say it because I'm a chaplain, for crying out loud. But you know what I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, that purpose has not changed. Although the battlefield is different, your follow-on mission is the same. The deployment is different, but the quest is the same, and that is the preservation of life. You are still on mission. Your orders come from the top, and I mean the very top. God Almighty, the ultimate commander-in-chief, has commissioned you to care for and love your fellow man. Your weapon to combat this foe is hope. And as cliche as that may sound, it is true. Hope is the vaccine to the pandemic of depression that plagues our nation's veterans. It is therefore incumbent upon us to be there for them once again, to make a phone call, to visit and check in on each other, to exchange stories, to help with a project, to do life together, to simply listen. Hear the story. And why do we do these things? Because suicide is not solved by a pill or a program or a presentation. but rather through the caring and hope-filled companionship that is found in genuine friendship. And here is what that friendship sounds like. Are you ready? You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on, 'cause I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Now, some of you want me to stop talking and start singing more, like we would all sing this together, right? Because those lyrics are so powerful, aren't they? The chorus from Bill Withers goes on to say, lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your what? Friend. I will help you carry on. Ladies and gentlemen, we need this desperately. We need to recognize the dear loved ones in our lives. And I think these lyrics also, they encourage us not to despair. Now, I got it. We live in tumultuous times, but we must not succumb to cynicism. They say, or the experts say, that cynicism is the number one problem in America. But who cares? Yeah. Instead, we must realize that hope is abundant when life is shared amidst friends. Hope is resilient. Hope is bold. And with hope for a brighter future, we pull each other up. We leave no one behind. Remember that driving instinct, for those of you who have served, that the military cultivated in you that says, I can't quit, I won't quit, I don't quit, I will never quit? Well, every person around you, everyone here and well beyond, has innate value and God-given significance. These are the ones that we must never quit on, because there is no quit in you. It is my job and yours to be our brothers and sisters' keepers, because loving people is worth it. We are still bound together in a common cause and a common purpose to enjoy life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And as the great Martin Luther King Jr. wisely observed, our lives are not fully lived if we're not willing to die for those we love. Like you, my blood flows red, white, and blue. And on this Memorial Day weekend, I am deeply moved as I consider that many once stood in our ranks and laid the most costly sacrifice on the altar of freedom. You and our beloved fallen comrades sacrificed for the enduring American ideals such as democracy and liberty. And when we hear those rapturous strains that we heard beautifully sung earlier of the national anthem, we are arrested by the noble themes of duty, honor, code, country, and service. And when we salute the unfurled flag as we did earlier, we are seized by the transcendent reality that we live in the greatest nation on earth and stand by and stand ready to defend America with everything we've got. So, let today be a call to arms, the linked arms of brothers and sisters against suicide. In one of my deployments to Afghanistan, we had a phrase that we used as we worked with our Afghani partners. It was Shana Bashana, which simply meant shoulder to shoulder. And in a symbolic way, we would link arms together and we would hold each other up. In fact, I wonder if you would do that just now as a sort of symbolic way to remember the point of this message. If you would you please stand for a moment and be willing to link arms with the person next to you? This is a symbolic display of our fight against suicide. And as you do that, as you link your arms together, let us remember what we fought so hard to preserve. Let us reawaken to the value of life in those dear souls around us. Let us once again suit up and be on mission, the mission of intuition, that we may combat suicide with love and hope. Thank you, and God bless you.